The trading ship Star Whisper moved slowly through the dark space near a dying star. Captain Vex stood on the bridge, his crystal-like skin glowing soft blue in the dim light. He was tall and thin, like a walking piece of living glass. His two crewmates worked at their stations nearby. "Captain, I'm picking up something strange," said Krim, the ship's navigator. Krim had 4 arms and green, wet-looking skin like a frog. Water dripped from small gills on his neck as he spoke. "There's a signal coming from that dead moon." Bolt, the engineer, looked up from his work. He was small and round, like a metal ball with 6 thin legs. His bug-like eyes clicked as they focused on the screen. "We should not investigate. Our cargo run is already behind schedule." Captain Vex stared at the gray moon spinning around the red dying star. Something felt wrong about this place. What kind of signal? "Life signs," Krim said, his webbed fingers dancing over controls. "But they're different. Very strong, but also weak, like something powerful is hurt badly." Vex made a decision that would change everything. "Take us closer." The Star Whisper flew toward the lifeless moon. As they got closer, their scanners found something that made no sense. Hidden in a deep crater was a large building, mostly destroyed. Twisted metal and broken walls stuck out of the ground like broken teeth. "There!" Krim pointed at his screen. "The life signs are coming from inside those ruins." Vex looked through the ship's cameras. In the middle of the wreckage, something moved. It was big and covered in blue fur that seemed to shine like metal. The creature was trapped under a fallen beam, but it was still alive. "By the stars," whispered Bolt. "What is that thing?" As their ship got closer, they could see more clearly. The creature was like a giant wolf, but bigger than any animal they had ever seen. Its fur was a strange blue color with silver streaks, and its eyes glowed bright amber in the dark. Blood covered its side where the metal beam had trapped it. But the wolf was not alone. 3 small shapes moved under her body. Cubs. Baby versions of the giant wolf. No bigger than house cats, but with the same glowing blue fur and bright amber eyes. "She's protecting them," Krim said softly. The mother wolf saw their ship. Her head lifted, and she looked right at them through the camera. Vex felt something cold move down his spine. Those eyes were not the eyes of a simple animal. There was intelligence there. Deep, angry intelligence. "Captain," Bolt's voice was worried. "I'm reading the facility's broken computers. This place, it has warning signs all over it." "What kind of warnings?" Bolt's small legs clicked nervously on the floor. "Danger signs in 12 different languages. And a name, Project Fenris. Whatever this creature is, someone built her." Vex studied the readings on his screen. The wolf's body showed signs of metal parts inside her bones and muscles. Machines had been put into her body to make her stronger and faster. Someone had made her into a weapon. "She's artificial," he said. "A created being." "The records say the project was stopped," Krim added, reading more data. "They left everything here to die when they abandoned this place." The 3 aliens stared at the screen in silence. The mother wolf was still looking at them, even trapped and bleeding. She kept her cub safe under her body. One of the little ones poked its head out, and she gently pushed it back with her nose. "We should leave," Bolt said firmly. "Created war beasts are too dangerous. There are laws about this." "But she has babies," Krim argued. "Look at her. She's dying, and those cubs won't survive without her." Captain Vex felt torn. He had seen many strange things in his years as a trader, but nothing like this. The wolf had been made to be a weapon, but she was acting like a mother trying to save her children. "What does the computer say about her abilities?" Vex asked. Bolt's eyes clicked as he read the data. "Enhanced strength. She's 10 times stronger than a normal creature her size. Enhanced speed. Enhanced healing. And enhanced intelligence. Captain, according to this, she's as smart as we are. Then why is she just lying there?" Krim wondered. Vex looked at the screen again. The beam across the wolf's body was massive. Even with her great strength, she could not lift it without hurting her cubs. She was trapped between saving herself and protecting them. "She's choosing to stay," Vex realized. She could probably get free, but not without leaving a cub behind. The three aliens fell silent again. Outside, the dying star cast red light across the broken facility. The wolf waited, watching their ship. Her amber eyes seemed to be asking them a question. "There's more data here," Bolt said reluctantly. Project Fenris was designed to hunt humans. The new species had joined the Galactic Council 5 years ago. Vex's crystal skin went dark. Humans were still new to space, still learning about the galaxy. Most older species thought they were dangerous because they grew and learned so fast. But creating weapons to hunt them seemed wrong. The project failed, Bolt continued. According to these files, the wolf refused to follow orders. She was supposed to be loyal to her creators, but something went wrong. She became independent. Independent how? She started protecting things instead of destroying them. The scientists tried to fix the programming, but it didn't work. Finally, they decided the whole project was useless and left everything here. Krim's gills fluttered with emotion. They created a living being and then threw her away like broken equipment. Vex made his decision. "Prepare the cargo bay. We're bringing them aboard." "Captain." Bolt's voice was high with worry. "She's a weapon designed to kill. We don't know if the programming might come back." "Look at her, Bolt." Vex pointed at the screen. The mother wolf was gently cleaning one of her cubs with her tongue. "Does that look like a killing machine to you?" They prepared their ship's lifting equipment. It took 2 hours to carefully move the metal beam and free the wolf family. During the whole time, the mother stayed calm, letting them help. She seemed to understand they were trying to save her. When they finally lifted her into the cargo bay, she was badly hurt but alive. The cub stayed close to her, making small whining sounds. The mother wolf looked around the metal room, then looked at Captain Vex. She gave a small nod, like she was saying thank you. "Set up the medical systems," Vex ordered, "and seal the cargo bay. We don't know what she might do when she's healed." As the Star Whisperer left the dead moon behind, Vex wondered if he had made a terrible mistake. In the cargo bay, the wolf they had decided to call Luna rested with her cubs. Her wounds were already starting to heal faster than should be possible. Outside the ship, the dying star grew smaller. But Vex had the strange feeling that their real journey was just beginning. Luna opened her amber eyes and looked at the camera in the corner of the room. For just a moment, Captain Vex could have sworn she smiled. 3 days passed as the Star Whisperer traveled toward the nearest space station. Luna, the giant wolf, healed much faster than anyone expected. Her wounds closed up, and she began moving around the cargo bay with her 3 cubs. Captain Vex watched her through the security cameras. Luna was beautiful in a dangerous way. Her blue metallic fur caught the light, and her amber eyes seemed to glow with inner fire. The cubs were growing larger each day, already twice the size they had been when rescued. "She's not like any animal I've studied," Krim said, looking at the medical readings. "Her brain shows patterns similar to our own species. She's thinking, planning, learning." Bolt was less impressed. The security system keeps acting strange when it scans a cargo bay. Sometimes the cameras go blank for a few seconds, and the ship's main computer has been running slower. Vex frowned. "What do you think is causing it?" "I don't know, but it started after we brought her aboard." In the cargo bay, Luna seemed to be exploring every corner of the room. She would touch the walls with her nose, then look directly at the security camera. It was like she knew she was being watched. The cubs were curious about everything. They played with each other, tumbling around their mother's feet. But even while playing, they never strayed far from Luna. She would give a soft growl, and they would immediately come back to her side. "Look at this," Krim said, showing data on his screen. "I've been reading more of the facility's records. Project Fenris wasn't just about making a weapon. They were trying to create the perfect soldier." "Perfect how?" Vex asked. "Luna has enhanced strength, speed, and healing, but that's not the most important part. She was designed to be completely loyal to her commanders. She would follow any order without question, even if it meant her death." Bolt's metal legs clicked nervously, but the project failed because she wouldn't obey. "Not exactly," Krim corrected. "She would obey some orders, but not others. When they told her to attack practice targets, She did it perfectly. When they told her to hunt and kill, she refused. The scientists couldn't understand why. Vex studied Luna on the camera screen. She was lying down now, letting her cubs sleep against her warm body. One little cub was having a bad dream, making small crying sounds. Luna gently licked its head until it calmed down. Maybe the programming didn't fail, Vex said slowly. Maybe it worked too well. What do you mean? They wanted to create loyalty. But loyalty to what? To people who give orders? Or to the things you love? The three aliens thought about this. In the cargo bay, Luna lifted her head and looked straight at the camera. For a long moment, she and Captain Vex stared at each other through the screen. That night, strange things began happening on the ship. Vex had dreams about running through forests under alien stars. He could smell things he had never smelled before, hear sound that made no sense. In the dream, he had 4 legs and thick fur, and the ground felt different under his feet. Krim had similar dreams. In his, he was swimming through water that tasted of metal and stars. Bolt dreamed of crawling through tunnels that hummed with electricity and life. When they compared their dreams the next morning, all 3 were confused and worried. "It's her," Bolt said firmly. "Somehow, she's affecting our minds." "But how?" Krim asked. "She's locked in the cargo bay." Vex checked the security recordings from the night before. The cameras in the cargo bay showed Luna sleeping peacefully with her cubs. But several times during the night, the recordings went blank for a few minutes. She's doing something when the cameras can't see her, Vex realized. They decided to install extra sensors in the cargo bay. But when Bolt went to do the work, he found something that made his metal skin go cold. "Captain," he called over the communication system. "You need to see this." Vex and Krim hurried to the cargo bay. Inside, they found that Luna had somehow arranged the metal boxes and equipment into a perfect map of the ship's layout. She had mapped every corridor, every room, every system. "She's been studying us," Krim whispered. Luna sat in the center of her map, watching them. The cubs played around her feet, but she never took her eyes off the 3 aliens. When Captain Vex stepped closer to the force field that separated them, Luna stood up. She was huge. Her head reached higher than Vex's chest, even though she was standing on 4 legs. Her muscles moved under her shiny fur like steel cables. For a moment, Vex felt real fear. Then Luna did something unexpected. She walked to the ship's communication panel that was built into the cargo bay wall. Using her nose and paws, she began pressing buttons. "She's trying to communicate," Krim said in amazement. The speakers crackled to life. Luna had connected the cargo bay to the ship's main communication system. She made a series of sounds, not quite growls, not quite words, but somehow the 3 aliens understood her meaning. "Thank you." The simple message hung in the air between them. Luna had learned their language somehow, learned their systems, and now she was talking to them. "You're welcome," Captain Vex said softly. Luna tilted her head, like she was thinking, then she pressed more buttons. This time, words appeared on the screen, typed out in Galactic standard language. "Cub safe now. Thank you. How did you learn to read?" Krim asked. Luna's amber eyes seemed to smile. She pointed with her nose at the security camera, then at the computer screen where she was typing. "Watched. Learned. Always learning." Bolt stepped forward, his fear replaced by curiosity. "What happened at the facility? Why did they abandon you?" Luna's expression darkened. The cubs sensed her mood change and huddled closer to her. She typed slowly on the screen. "Made to hunt. Made to kill." But cubs came. Changed everything. "The cubs changed you?" Vex asked. "Yes. Love stronger than programming. Chose cubs over orders." The 3 aliens looked at each other. Luna had been designed as a perfect weapon, but when she became a mother, something deeper had awakened in her. Love had overridden her programming. "What do you want now?" Captain Vex asked. Luna looked at each of them for a long moment. Then she typed her answer. "Safe place for cubs. Chance to choose own path." As if to prove her point, one of the cubs walked up to the force field and pressed its small nose against the energy barrier. Its amber eyes looked curious, not dangerous. Captain Vex made another decision that would change their lives. He turned off the force field. "Captain!" Bolt squeaked in alarm, but Luna didn't attack. Instead, she gave that same small nod she had given when they first rescued her. The cub that had been touching the barrier took a careful step into the main part of the cargo bay. Luna watched her baby explore, ready to protect it if needed, but she let it choose to be curious rather than afraid. "I think," Captain Vex said quietly, "we're not just carrying passengers anymore. We're carrying family." Luna's tail moved in what might have been a wag. For the first time since the rescue, she looked truly peaceful. But their peace was about to be broken in the worst possible way. 2 weeks later, the Star Whisper was flying through a dangerous part of space called the Broken Fields, an area full of old asteroids and dead ships. It was a shortcut to the trading stations, but pirates often hid there. Luna had become part of the crew's daily life. She still stayed mostly in the cargo bay with her cubs, but now the force fields were turned off. The cubs, who they had named Star, Nova, and Comet, were growing fast. They were already the size of large dogs, with the same metallic blue fur and bright amber eyes as their mother. "She's incredible," Krim said, watching Luna on the monitors. "Yesterday I saw her solve a puzzle that would challenge most Academy graduates." Luna had been teaching herself about the ship systems. She could now operate basic controls and even help with simple repairs. The cubs were learning too, watching everything their mother did. Captain Vex was in his cabin, reading reports, when the alarm started screaming. "Captain, to the bridge." Bolt's voice was full of panic. Vex ran to the bridge. Outside the front window, he saw 3 large, ugly ships surrounding them. The ships were dark metal with sharp edges, like flying daggers. "Pirates," Krim said, his green skin turning pale. "Mako clan, from the look of their ships." Vex's crystal body went dark with fear. The Mako were the worst kind of pirates, shark-like aliens who took prisoners to sell as slaves. They were bigger and stronger than most species, with razor-sharp teeth and no mercy. "They're demanding we stop our engines and prepare to be boarded," Bolt reported. "What are our options?" Vex asked. "None," Krim said sadly. "They have us surrounded, and their ships are armed with military-grade weapons. We're just a trading vessel." The lead pirate ship moved closer. A harsh voice came over the communication system. "Trading ship, this is Captain Razor of the Bloodfin clan. Stop your engines now, and we might let you live as slaves. Resist, and we'll take your ship apart piece by piece." Vex looked at his 2 friends. They had been together for 5 years, trading across the galaxy. They had never faced anything this dangerous. "Do what he says," Vex ordered. "Stop the engines." In the cargo bay, Luna sensed that something was wrong. The cubs gathered around her as she listened to the sounds of the ship. Her enhanced hearing picked up the pirate ships getting closer. "Attention all crew," came Razor's voice over the ship speakers. "We're coming aboard. Anyone who fights will be fed to the space sharks." Heavy footsteps echoed through the Star Whisper as the pirates entered. Vex, Krim, and Bolt were forced to kneel in the main corridor with energy weapons pointed at them. Captain Razor was massive. Even for a Mako, he was 3 meters tall, with gray skin like armor and teeth that could bite through metal. His small, black eyes looked at the prisoners with hunger. A crystal being, a water rat, and a little bug. Razor laughed, showing his terrible teeth. "You'll bring good prices at the slave markets." "Please," Captain Vex said. "We're just traders. We don't have anything valuable." "Oh, but you do," Razor grinned. "Your ship's computer shows some very interesting cargo. Something alive and dangerous in your hold." Vex's crystal skin went completely dark. The pirates knew about Luna. "Don't worry," Razor continued. "We'll take good care of your pet. War beasts sell for millions on the black market, especially ones with cubs." That's when the lights went out. The Star Whisper went completely dark except for the red emergency lights. In the darkness, a sound echoed through the ship that made everyone freeze. It was a howl, deep, angry, and full of promise. "What was that?" one of the pirate crew whispered. Razor snarled. "Just an animal. Go check the cargo bay." 2 pirates headed toward the back of the ship. They never made it. In the red emergency lighting, something moved through the shadows like liquid death. Luna had left the cargo bay, moving through the ship's maintenance tunnels. Her enhanced speed made her nearly invisible. The first pirate screamed. The sound cut off suddenly. The second pirate raised his weapon, but Luna was already behind him. Her jaws closed around his arm, and the weapon clattered to the floor. "It's loose!" Razor roared. "Kill it!" But Luna wasn't alone. The cubs had followed their mother into battle. Star, the largest cub, attacked the pirate's legs with incredible speed. Nova and Comet worked together, using their small size to hide in the shadows and strike when the pirates weren't looking. The fight moved through the ship like a storm. Luna was everything the scientists had tried to create, the perfect warrior. But she wasn't fighting for conquest or orders. She was protecting her family and the aliens who had saved them. Captain Razor found himself face to face with Luna in the main corridor. She was magnificent and terrifying, her blue fur almost glowing in the red light, her amber eyes full of intelligence and fury. "Just a failed weapon," Razor sneered, raising his largest gun. "Time to put you down." Luna moved faster than thought. She dodged the energy blast and hit Razor with her full weight. The massive pirate crashed into the wall, his armor cracking. But Razor wasn't finished. He pulled out a vibroblade, a weapon that could cut through almost anything. "Come on, beast. Let's see what you're really made of." Luna and Razor circled each other in the narrow corridor. He was bigger and had better weapons. She was faster and smarter. When he swung his blade, she was already somewhere else. When she attacked, her claws found the weak spots in his armor. The battle lasted only minutes, but it felt like hours. In the end, Luna stood over the defeated pirate captain. She could have killed him easily, but instead she left him alive but badly hurt. The other pirates, seeing their leader beaten, surrendered quickly. As the emergency lights came back on, Captain Vex, Krim, and Bolt saw the aftermath of the battle. The pirates were tied up with cables from their own ship. Luna sat calmly in the corridor, her cubs around her. She was barely breathing hard. "Are you hurt?" Vex asked her. Luna walked over to him and gently touched his arm with her nose. She was saying she was fine. The cubs ran to the three aliens, tails wagging like happy puppies. Nova jumped up and put her front paws on Krim's chest, licking his face. Star sat next to Bolt, purring like a giant cat. Comet rolled on his back in front of Captain Vex, asking for belly rubs. "They saved us," Bolt said in wonder. "The creatures we thought were dangerous weapons saved our lives." Luna walked back to where Captain Razor was slowly getting to his feet. She looked into his eyes and growled softly. The meaning was clear. "If you ever threaten my family again, I won't be so merciful." Razor and his crew were loaded onto their own ship and sent away with a warning. As their ships disappeared into the asteroid field, Captain Vex realized everything had changed. Luna wasn't their prisoner or their cargo anymore. She was their protector, their friend, their family, and they were hers. That evening, as the Star Whisper continued its journey, Luna and her cubs didn't go back to the cargo bay. Instead, they stayed on the bridge with the crew. Luna lay down next to Captain Vex's chair, and the cubs curled up around the other crew stations. "Computer," Vex said to the ship's AI, "add 4 new crew members to our roster. Luna, Star, Nova, and Comet. What should I list as their job titles?" the computer asked. Vex looked at Luna, who was watching the stars through the front window. Her amber eyes reflected the light of distant suns, and he could see dreams in them. Dreams of freedom, family, and a future they could choose for themselves. "List them as family," he said. Luna's tail thumped once against the floor. In the language they were all learning to understand, it meant yes and thank you and home all at once. 3 weeks after the pirate attack, the Star Whisper arrived at Haven Station, a massive trading hub floating in space. The station was like a small city with thousands of different aliens living and working together. Captain Vex was worried. During their journey, he had been learning more about Luna's past by studying the files they had taken from the abandoned facility. What he found made his crystal skin grow dark with anger. "Krim, Bolt." He called his crew to the meeting room. "We need to talk about something important." Luna and her cubs were sleeping in their new home, a modified cargo bay that was now comfortable and warm. The cubs had grown again. They were now as big as adult wolves, but they still acted like playful children around the crew. "What did you find, Captain?" Krim asked, his webbed hands folded nervously. Vex activated the hologram projector. Images filled the air, official documents with the seal of the Galactic Council. Project Fenris wasn't just some random military experiment. Vex began. It was ordered by the Council itself. They wanted to create biological weapons specifically designed to hunt and kill humans. Bolt's metal legs clicked in shock. The Council? But they're supposed to protect all species equally. "Look at these dates," Vex continued. "The project started right after humans joined the galactic community 5 years ago. Many council members were afraid that humans were too aggressive, too unpredictable. The hologram showed pictures of human colonies, peaceful settlements where families lived and worked. Then it showed battle plans, detailed studies of human weaknesses, and worst of all, maps marking human worlds as targets. They were planning a genocide," Krim whispered, his green skin turning pale. "Luna and others like her were supposed to be the perfect killers," Vex explained. "Silent, intelligent, and programmed to hunt humans without mercy. The scientists gave them enhanced senses to track human scents, enhanced strength to break through human defenses, and enhanced intelligence to outsmart human tactics. But then the hologram showed something else. Failed test reports, frustrated scientists, and angry council members. The wolves wouldn't do it," Bolt realized. "They refused to kill humans." "Not exactly," Vex corrected. "According to these files, Luna and the other test subjects would attack practice targets that looked like humans. They would complete combat training perfectly. But when they were given real humans to hunt, the hologram showed security footage from a facility. Luna, younger and smaller, was in a test chamber with a human prisoner, a man who had been captured during a border dispute. The scientists expected Luna to attack immediately. Instead, she walked up to the frightened man and sat down beside him. When he reached out to pet her, she let him. When he cried from fear, she rested her head on his lap to comfort him. She recognized something in humans that her creators didn't expect." Vex said softly. "What?" Krim asked. "The same thing that made her protect her cubs. The same thing that made her choose love over programming. Humans and Luna's kind shared something important, the ability to care about others, even strangers." The hologram showed more footage. Other wolves in the project doing the same thing, refusing to harm humans, instead showing curiosity and even. The project was declared a failure, Vex continued. The council decided the wolves were defective and ordered them all destroyed. But some scientists felt guilty about killing innocent creatures they had created, so they abandoned the facility instead, leaving Luna and the others to die slowly. Bolt was quiet for a long moment. Luna wasn't broken. She was working exactly as she should have. "What do you mean?" "Think about it. The scientists wanted to create the perfect soldier. They gave her human-like intelligence, human-like emotions, and human-like loyalty. But they didn't understand that if you make something truly human-like, it will act with human-like compassion." On the viewing screen, they could see Luna playing gently with her cubs in their room. Star was trying to solve a puzzle game on the computer. Nova and Comet were practicing their hunting skills on toy targets, but they always held back, never using their full strength even in play. She's not a failed weapon, Vex realized. She's proof that kindness is stronger than programming. Their discussion was interrupted by alarms from the station's communication system. "Attention all vessels," came an official voice. "By order of the Galactic Council Security Force, all ships are to be searched for unauthorized biological materials. Any vessel found harboring classified military assets will be seized immediately." The three friends looked at each other with fear. Through the window, they could see official council ships approaching the station. Large, white vessels with the symbol of galactic law enforcement. "They're looking for Luna," Krim said. Vex's mind raced. If the council found Luna and her cubs, they would either destroy them or take them away to restart the weapons program. After everything Luna had done to protect them, they couldn't let that happen. "We have to get her away from here," Bolt said. "Where?" "The council has authority in every system. There's nowhere we can hide. That's when Luna appeared in the doorway of the meeting room. She had learned to open doors by watching the crew, and she often joined their conversations now. Her amber eyes looked at the hologram display, and her expression grew serious. She walked to the computer terminal and began typing with her nose and paws. I know what this is. Council wants me back. Luna, we won't let them take you, Captain Vex promised. Luna looked at each of them for a long moment. Then she typed something that surprised them. There is somewhere safe. Humans will help. Humans? But Luna, you were designed to hunt them. Why would they help you? Luna's amber eyes seemed to smile. She brought up a new display on the computer. Star charts showing human space. Captain Torres of Earth's ship Harmony. He searches for truth about weapons made to kill his people. He wants to find U.S. How do you know this? Krim asked. Listen to communications. Learned human language. Humans are good people. They will understand. The station's alarms grew louder. Council security forces were boarding ships and searching them one by one. Captain, Bolt said urgently, we need to decide now. Vex looked at Luna, this incredible being who had chosen love over violence, protection over destruction. Then he looked at her cubs, who represented hope for a future where created beings could choose their own destiny. Set course for human space, he ordered, and sent a message to Captain Torres. As the Star Whisper prepared to leave Haven Station, Luna did something unexpected. She accessed the station's communication network and sent a message to every ship in the area. The message was simple but powerful. It showed images of her rescue, her recovery, her cubs playing safely, and her choice to protect the crew who had saved her. It showed that she had been designed as a weapon but had chosen to become a protector instead. What are you doing? Vex asked. Luna looked at him with those intelligent amber eyes. Telling the truth. Other species should know what Council planned. The message spread quickly through the station's networks. Within hours, it was being transmitted across the galaxy. Luna's story. The story of a weapon who chose love, a mother who chose her cubs over her programming, and a created being who chose freedom over obedience. As the Star Whisper jumped to faster-than-light speed, heading toward human territory, Captain Vex realized that Luna had just done something revolutionary. She had declared her independence not just for herself, but for all created beings everywhere. The cubs sensed their mother's determination and gathered around her. Star nuzzled her neck supportively. Nova and Comet pressed close to her sides. Do you think the humans will really help us? Bolt asked. Luna turned to him and made a sound that was almost like laughter. Humans understand choosing love over fear. They will help. As they traveled through space toward an uncertain future, Captain Vex felt something he had never experienced before. Hope that the galaxy might be about to change for the better. Behind them, the Council security forces found empty cargo bays and confused reports about a message that was spreading faster than they could stop it. Luna's revolution had begun. The meeting took place in space, far from any planet or station. The Star Whisper floated next to a larger human ship called the Harmony. Captain Torres, a middle-aged human with kind eyes and gray hair, had agreed to meet them after receiving Luna's message. I've been searching for proof of the weapons program for 2 years, Torres explained over the communication link. When I heard about a wolf who chose to protect rather than destroy, I knew I had to meet her. Captain Vex, Krim, and Bolt prepared for the most important meeting of their lives. Luna groomed her cubs carefully, making sure they looked their best. Star, Nova, and Comet seemed to understand that this was important. They stayed close to their mother and followed her lead. When Captain Torres came aboard the Star Whisper, Luna was waiting for him in the main cargo bay. She sat calmly with her cubs arranged around her, looking like a family portrait. Torres stopped and stared. Even knowing what to expect, seeing Luna in person was overwhelming. She was magnificent, larger than any wolf that had ever lived, with her metallic blue for catching the light and her amber eyes full of intelligence. Hello, Luna, Torres said softly. Luna stood and walked toward him. Torres didn't move, letting her approach at her own pace. When she was close enough, Luna gently touched his hand with her nose. Then she did something that made Torres's eyes fill with tears. She lay down in front of him and rolled onto her back. showing her belly, the ultimate sign of trust that any dog-like creature could give. "She is beautiful," Torres whispered. Luna rolled back over and walked to the computer terminal. She began typing a message for Torres to read. "Hello, Captain Torres. I was made to hurt your people, but I choose to protect instead. Will you help my cubs find safe home?" Torres read the message and nodded. "Luna, I promise you that humanity will give you and your cubs sanctuary. We believe every intelligent being has the right to choose their own path." The cubs, sensing their mother's approval of this human, began to approach Torres. Star came first, walking with confidence like her mother. She sat down in front of Torres and offered him her paw. Torres shook the paw gravely. "Nice to meet you, Star." Nova and Comet followed, each greeting the human in their own way. Soon Torres was sitting on the floor with 3 giant wolf cubs climbing all over him, licking his face and wagging their tails. "They're wonderful," he laughed. "Just like human children, but bigger." That's when the alarm started. Council ships approaching. Bolt announced from the bridge. 3 heavy cruisers moving fast. Through the viewing ports, they could see the white ships of the Galactic Council Security Force. They were massive compared to the trading vessel and the human ship. "Attention, vessels," came the official transmission. "You are harboring stolen Council property. Surrender the biological weapons immediately or be destroyed." Captain Torres stood up, his expression serious. "Luna, take your cubs to my ship. We have better defenses." But Luna shook her head and walked back to computer. "No running. Time to choose future." "What do you mean?" Captain Vex asked. Luna's amber eyes were calm but determined. She began typing a longer message. "Council made me to be weapon, but I choose to be mother. Made cubs to be killers, but they choose to be family. Now all Galaxy must choose. Fear or love." She activated the ship's communication system and connected to the Council vessels. "This is Admiral Korth of the Security Force." Came a harsh voice. "Surrender the weapons immediately." Luna looked at the camera that would transmit her image to the Council ships. Then she did something that no one expected. She began to sing. It wasn't exactly singing in the way humans or other species would understand it. It was a deep musical howl that seemed to come from her soul. The cubs joined in, their young voices harmonizing with their mothers. The song told a story without words. It spoke of being created not by choice, of being programmed to hate, but choosing to love instead. It sang of the beauty of family, the joy of protecting others, and the hope for a future where all beings could choose their own destiny. The song was broadcast across the galaxy through the communication networks. Every species that heard it understood the emotions, even if they couldn't understand sounds. When the song ended, Luna typed one final message that was transmitted to every ship, station, and world within range. "I am Luna. I was made to be weapon of fear. I choose to be symbol of hope. My cubs will grow up free to choose love or hate, violence or peace, fear or courage. This is my gift to Galaxy, proof that every being can choose to be better than what others expect." The response was immediate and overwhelming. Across the galaxy, beings who had heard Luna's story began transmitting their own messages. Support poured in from hundreds of species. "Admiral Korth." Came a new voice on the communication channel. "This is Counselor Yeth of the Helix Consortium. I order you to stand down immediately." "Sir, these are classified weapons dash. These are intelligent beings with the right to self-determination. The weapons program is hereby terminated permanently." More council members joined the communication, each one supporting Luna's right to freedom. The tide of galactic opinion had turned. Admiral Korth's voice was defeated. "All ships, return to base." As the council vessels departed, Luna collapsed to the floor, exhausted from the emotional strain. Her cubs immediately surrounded her, comforting their mother. Captain Torres knelt beside Luna. "You did it. You're free." Luna looked up at him with tired but happy eyes. She managed to type one more message. "Not just free. Safe. Cubs will grow up choosing own paths." 6 months later, Luna and her cubs lived on New Terra, a human colony world with vast forests and clear rivers. They had a comfortable home, but were free to roam wherever they wanted. Star had chosen to work with human scientists, helping them understand how artificial beings could develop emotions and free will. Nova became a teacher, working with human children and showing them that differences between species didn't matter. Comet chose a different path. He became an explorer, traveling to distant worlds and sending back reports of his adventures. Luna spent her days playing with her cubs when they visited, swimming in the rivers, and running through forests under alien stars. But she also had important work. She became a symbol of hope for created beings everywhere. Her story inspired changes in laws across the galaxy. No longer could beings be created just to be weapons. Every artificial intelligence, every enhanced creature, every created being had the right to choose their own purpose. Captain Vex, Krim, and Bolt visited often. The Star Whisperer had become famous as the ship that rescued Luna, and they were welcomed everywhere as heroes. Do you ever regret saving us? Luna asked Vex during one visit, using the improved communication system they had developed. Captain Vex looked around at the peaceful scene. Luna's cubs playing in the sunlight, humans and aliens working together. A galaxy that was slowly learning to choose love over fear. Never, he said. You taught us that family isn't about what species you are or who created you. Family is about choosing to protect each other. Luna's tail wagged and her amber eyes sparkled with joy. That evening, as the alien sun set over New Terra, Luna and her cubs ran to the forest like their ancestors had millions of years ago. But they weren't running from danger or hunting for survival. They were running for the pure joy of being alive and free. Behind them, the lights of human settlements glowed warmly in the darkness. Ahead of them lay endless forests, mountains, and adventures. Most importantly, ahead of them lay a future they would choose for themselves. Luna lifted her head and howled. Not the song of a weapon, but the song of a mother, a protector, and a being who had chosen love over programming. Across the galaxy, other created beings heard that howl and understood its message. You are not what others made you to be. You are what you choose to become. The revolution Luna had started was complete. The galaxy would never be the same. And that was exactly how it should be. Chat controls Sonnet 4.